So in the last class, we discussed about namespace and daemon set object. Let's discuss about config maps and secrets today. Okay. In the Kubernetes objects, we'll discuss about config maps. Config maps. So config maps are used for non-confidential data. Used for non-confidential data. Let's quickly create a config map. Go to the environment. Let this load. Okay. So suppose we'll create vi cm.yaml for config map. Press an I to insert API version colon v1. And please start writing down and practice the YAML, because nowadays there are a lot of asking to write the YAML files in the interviews. Okay. So, and they will not ask that much. They just want to know that whether you are able to write or not. Okay, that's it. They will not give you a that much long YAML file to write, a short one with simple Nginx server or Apache server. That's it. Okay, to be created. So if you do not perform or do not do the practice, then you will not be able to write in the interview. Okay. So please practice. Kind config map. Metadata. Name. Suppose we are running a MySQL server in one of the pods. So and we want to give some data for MySQL configuration, like what is the MySQL port, okay, what is MySQL username, like this. So that can be given in the config map. We cannot give MySQL password because that is a confidential data. Okay. But we can give MySQL username and MySQL port and all those things we can give in the config map. Okay. So suppose I'll give MySQL hyphen config. This is my config map. Okay. And in the same metadata, we'll talk about data as well. So what kind of data we are giving here? So suppose we are giving DB name. Okay. So what is the DB name? My DB suppose, and port information. So port information suppose it is 3308. So MySQL port is 3308. What is MS SQL port? No one knows what is MS SQL port. kubectl create -f cm.yaml. So config map created. You can get the config maps using kubectl get cm config map like this. So one is that kube root ca.cert certificate CRT, basically that information. Now this is by default for the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, we did not created that kube root. Okay, we just created MySQL config. Okay, and what is the number of data we are it is holding? Like MySQL config, there are two data. Okay, two types of data. One is DB name and one is port. Okay, it is holding. You can also see kubectl describe cm. Kubectl describe cm. Which config map? MySQL hyphen and config. So it will describe here name MySQL config namespace default one only. Labels we have not given any labels, no annotations, nothing. Okay, data. What is data? DB name. Okay, what is the DB name? MyDB. Port 3308. Okay, no binary data as of now. Now let's create a pod for this to map this actually. So vi config map hyphen pod dot yaml. Press an I to insert API version. So API version is v1. Kind we are creating pod here, pod metadata. So metadata is name MySQL pod, name MySQL hyphen pod, labels, app. So suppose this is for backend environment. Suppose for production. Now comes the specifications. Containers. Inside the container, name. So name of the container, MySQL container, MySQL container. Okay. Image, docker.io. Suppose this is the image. Environment from. Okay. Now this will particular syntax to map a config map, okay, to a pod or to a deployment or to a replica set is env from, okay, from where we are. So we are referring this from somewhere, env from, okay. So from where we are referring. So config map reference we have to give, okay. Config map reference, okay. So environment we are reading it from. So name, or you can give name. So name is from where MySQL hyphen config, which we created earlier. Okay. Escape colon WQ exit kubectl create config map hyphen pod. YAML. Before this, let me, okay. Was not able to read out because I'm not given hyphen F over here. Okay. Pod created. Kubectl get pods. MySQL pod is running now. Now, how you will check the environment variables basically? So inside the pod, you have mentioned inside the pod, you have mentioned the you have you have taken the reference from the MySQL config. So how you can check those environment variables? What environment variables? Basically, the DB name and the DB port. So how you can check? Then you can go under kubectl execute. Okay, exec what MySQL hyphen pod hyphen IT, that is interactive mode, hyphen sh. Okay. Now I'm inside the shell. I can run env. So why we run env? To print the environment variables basically. Okay. Uh, can we see somewhere DB name? Where is DB name?
It
DB,
is from bottom fifth line.
DB name is coming and the port is coming. That means we have successfully mapped the config map to the pod. Okay. So now inside the pod we have config maps. We have, so how we did it? Using env form. Okay. That property and the config map reference. So this is about the
Uh,
config.
I have a question here.
Mhm.
When we create the config map, can't we create the pod in the same config map and update whenever it work? Like whenever we change the config map.
Mhm.
After that, when we apply the config
Mhm.
map it will automatically create in the pod and it will be updated, right? Like, is
Mhm.
that can we do that option also? Like, instead of
You
going for
can
two.
you can do in the same step in the same YAML. Okay. So in the same YAML itself, you can first create a block for config map and again the next block for the pod. And you can reference that first block. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So in the same YAML, you can achieve that. No issues. Okay. The matter is that just you need to separate both of the YAMLs using uh, So actually, what we do is that we uh, we do separate the YAMLs using this, like three
Yeah, yeah,
dots.
it be in a
Yeah,
separate block, right?
yeah, separate block. So first block can be a config map, second block can be pod. Okay. Okay. Uh, VI. Okay, CM, it was cm.yaml. Mm, Get cm.yaml. Copy this. So this is config map. Let's see config. Let's see secrets now. Secrets. Oh, this is used for confidential data. Used for confidential data, like passwords. So there are two methods. There are two methods to create secrets. Method one, create a secret using key pair. Create a secret using key pair or key value pair, basically. Key value pair. So it will be like kubectl, kubectl create secret generic. So my hyphen db hyphen secret. Suppose this is, and then hyphen hyphen from hyphen literal equals username equals admin, and then hyphen hyphen from literal equals password, like this. A password can be like this. Once created, you can use like kubectl describe secret. The name is mydb secret. So this is the method one using key value pair. Secret created. Kubectl describe secret. What is the name of the secret? My hyphen db hyphen secret. MyDB secret, default namespace, labels, annotations, type, opaque, username, 5 bytes, password 7 bytes. You cannot see the password. Okay, that's why it is a secret, right? Now, like, let's create a pod to access this secret. So secret hyphen pod. From outside you cannot see, but from inside the container you can see. Okay, in the environment variables. So secret hyphen pod YAML. Press an I. API version v1 kind is pod metadata is name. So secret pod, secret hyphen pod. Then comes the labels. So in the label section, we have app, suppose backend, and then spec. So in this spec, we are running a container. So containers name of the container hyphen name secret hyphen container, suppose image nginx and env from. The same thing we will be using in the, now this type, earlier it was config map reference, this time is secret reference. So hyphen secret reference. So what is the name of the secret? Name MyDB secret. MyDB secret. Escape colon WQ exit. kubectl apply hyphen F secret hyphen pod secret hyphen pod dot YAML created kubectl get pods. So secret hyphen pod. Earlier we created for config maps MySQL hyphen pod. This is secret hyphen pod. So we mapped it. Now if you go inside the secret pod, so kubectl execute exec secret hyphen pod hyphen interactive mode hyphen hyphen space sh. env. Anywhere we can see username and password. Password is this. Username is this. So from inside the container, you can see in the environment variables, but there's a catch here. Okay. What we can do, we can pass a file actually, okay, for the secret somewhere, and we keep it logged. So here, password will not be seen, okay. It will display that file name, okay, where the password will be. So it will be like, I'll exit now. So this is method, we'll see method 2 now. So I'll exit. Before that, cat secret hyphen pod. That will be like this. Map the secret to the pod. Copy. Map the secret to the pod. Vi secret hyphen pod dot YAML. And then to apply, kubectl apply hyphen f secret hyphen pod dot YAML. To check kubectl get pods, and then enter the pod shell and check the environment variables. For the secret value, so it will be like kubectl execute secret hyphen pod hyphen interactive mode hyphen hyphen space sh. That will bring down to interactive mode, will be a kind of a hash and env. And then comes the method 2. And the method 2 create a secret using key value pair as well as file. So now it will be like kubectl create secret generic my hyphen db hyphen secret hyphen hyphen from hyphen literal equals username equals suppose admin, and now this time hyphen hyphen from. Now instead of literal, now we can use file. Okay, hyphen file, and file name can be any, like suppose password.txt or pass.txt, like this. Okay, for this we need to first create uh, pass.txt, where we need to keep that secret. Escape. Let me delete that first one. So kubectl secret my hyphen db deleted. Now I can create. Okay, this time secret created. Now kubectl describe secret, describe secret my hyphen db secret. Okay, now what it is showing for the password, that please refer pass.txt. Okay, pass.txt. So now let's create a pod again. So this time I can run the same secret pod.yaml again. So kubectl delete pod. Which pod was that? Secret hyphen pod. Pod deleted. Now I can apply the same pod. Pod created. Now if I go interactive mode, okay. Uh, Inside it, environment variables. Where is that? Username is there. Username. Uh, can we see password somewhere? No, right?
No.
No. So now the password is not visible. Okay. So we have kept in a linked file. Now you can also say that now someone can view the password. For that, someone should know the path where you have kept the file, basically. So now, if that is the issue, what we can do one more thing. So, so if you say that the password, so if someone would find the file, which one? Uh, what was the file name we created? I forget. Pass.txt, right? Now, if you say someone might see like this, what we can do is now we can encrypt this. Okay. So suppose we can have, oh, sorry. Uh, Wait. So there are a lot of encryptors. Okay. So what we can do? Encrypt password online. Suppose this is my encrypt my password. So let's take this base 64. Okay. Copy it. And now go to here. So vi pass.txt. Press an I. Paste it in the encrypted form. So now if someone would see, like he will find the encrypted password. Okay. So in this way, you can save that password from.
But Abhishek, like, even if you do this one, so this can be decrypted also.
Come
This
again.
whatever the password is
Then
encrypted,
you can lock the file.
yeah, you lock the file. So this can be decrypted. So
So no, like one cannot see from like or one cannot you can say uh,
better to lock the secret
correct,
files.
correct, correct. You can lock that. So this is like for the secret we can perform. Okay. So this is the method to using the file. Here you can use kubectl describe secret my hyphen db hyphen secret. And now to map the pod, or these same steps can be followed.
Abhishek, I have a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose they're having 10, maybe 10, 15 pods which is
Mm-hmm.
running,
Mm-hmm.
and all the pods are using the same DB connections.
Mm-hmm.
And how we can create the secret for all the pods? Like we need to apply to all the pods, like creating the secrets and apply to all the pods, or is there any way we can mm, kind of deploy the secret on one go, like all the pod can be applied.
Huh. So like whatever the pods will be, so you have to refer it in each pod where you are running, because no matter how many number of replicas you are running, all the replicas will have the same mapping. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the one pod, you have to do it. Rest, it will take care using the scaling, replica section. Okay.
No, like if you're using replicas for the same pod, like web pod,
Mm-hmm.
it will take care of how many
Yes.
replicas are there. But we are using a backend like eh, batch pods and web pods for different environments. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so in that situation, because
Same
those
same
are
SQL you are using for the others as well, right? You are saying that.
yeah, yeah, yes,
Ah. So for others as well, first thing that if you are using for other namespace or other environment, maybe QA or prod or anywhere, then first like you need to configure that secret first. The same maybe if it is the same secret, then also due to environmental boundary you cannot apply. You have to go there and like manually apply it there. From the same place you cannot do it.
okay.
No. So this is secret. Now let's what is left out here. Hmm. There is one more thing here. So now this is like outside the node in the control plane. We have suppose uh, mentioned the file, but it is not the same way we will do. So instead of this, we will be using volume and mounts basically. Okay. So for mapping the file, so it could be like uh, so we have to mention a location in the pod. This is just the basic way to mention in the control plane, but the most appropriate will be uh, let me delete that. Kubectl delete for secret hyphen pod. Okay, pod deleted. Now what can I do? Vi secret hyphen pod dot yaml. Okay, I can insert here API version v1 kind pod metadata secret hyphen pod labels backend specifications containers secret container image nginx. Now instead of mapping the environment from, what we can do is that okay, so instead of here what we can do is that uh, hmm. So here we can make use of volume mount basically. Volume mounts. So volume mounts are the path basically where we can keep that secret file, and until unless you will mount that particular volume in the pod, so the secret will not be visible to, or that file cannot be read by someone. Okay. So if you use volume mounts here, that is the location in the pod basically. So I'll write volume mounts, and I can write here, suppose uh, hash location in the pod from where the shared file from where the shared file can be accessed, like this. Now I can make use in the volume mounts. I can mount the path basically, or I can give a name first to the mount. So let it be like uh, my hyphen secret, and then the mount path basically, mount path. And suppose mount path is somewhere in the root folder, suppose. So inside a root, inside you can create a directory called my hyphen volume. Okay. And what you can set here, read only. You understand? Read only true. Now, when we set this, that means no one can go and change the password or, okay. And then you can provide the volume basically. So now here you can provide volumes. So what this volumes will contain? So basically it is the location or object, location or object that has the password file, that has the password file. Now in this way, what you can do, you can keep the password file in cloud resources as well, right? Right or wrong? If you do not, you can make use of file shares or any kind of, you can map it. So inside the volume, now you can give the name hyphen name, uh, my secret, my hyphen secret, like this. Mhm. And then the secret itself, secret. And inside the secret, you can give secret name, basically. Secret name. So what is the secret name? We created my DB secret, my hyphen DB hyphen secret. This was the secret. Now instead I can remove this. Now I'm not directly referring the, instead I'm referring the place volume mount with the name my secret. In that mount, in that my secret volume, I have mounted the path. Okay, actually that path is the shared file. Now that shared can be a local path. Instead of mount volume, you can make use of file share as well, Azure file share. Okay, my DB secret, or you can use local volume as well. And then where is the volume? So volume name is my secret we are referring to, and secret name is mydb secret. Now this is the location of that object where the password is kept. Escape colon wq exit. kubectl apply. Okay, secret hyphen pod dot yaml. Error passing secret yaml to JSON. What happened? Line number 16.
I think there should not be double colon
Come
when you
again.
mention the secret.
Come again.
Under the value, the secret name, right? My secret should
Mm-hmm.
not be double colon. I'm not sure, like, we need to have double colon. Like, yeah, that one.
Passing secret pod added, converting YAML to JSON. I did not find expected key. Okay. Something is missed.
Can you go to the ML machine?
Mm-hmm. Okay, 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 okay. Wait. I understand. So actually we have this in the current directory only. Whatever you see, pass.txt. Okay. This is in the, if you perform ls, this is here itself. Uh, um, so if I go back to the root directory, okay, so instead of root and my volume, I should have mentioned over there root directory, or I should go and since I was explaining an example. So I took that path. Already I worked with that example, so it was like that. So here, where is that boot? No, root. Where's the root directory? Root. Okay. CD root. Now, here only, where what we will do. What was the name? My volume, right? Or cat. Uh, correct. Secret hyphen pod. My volume. Okay. So now what I need to do is that I need to create mkdir my hyphen volume, and I should move that file to my volume. Okay. So now if you do ls, where is that pass.txt? So mb, and in the current directory, it is inside, or wait. Oh, okay. Now you understand what I was trying to do. I'll move that pass.txt inside my volume, and then I'll run that pod, and it will read it out. Got it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Error was like the secret in that directory is not finding, right? That's
Yes, yes, yes,
that, right? Yeah.
yes. So in this way, we completed all the objects in Kubernetes. Now we need to discuss scaling in Kubernetes. So we'll discuss scaling in the next class. So just a small like scaling, and apart from scaling, we'll discuss RBAC as well, RBAC in Kubernetes. And then I think all will be completed with the Kubernetes. We just need to see installation there. That's it. And then we'll start Terraform. Okay. I hope this helps everyone.
Yes, Abhishek.